the path.
Hello, I'm Derek Terry, host of I'm Not Complaining, I'm Just Sayin. Here at one of my favorite spots, the barbershop, where we know if you're gonna complain here, then you better provide solutions.
Good.
It's good. I firmly believe when we make other people's problems part of our conversations without providing solutions or prayer, then we become part of the problem. I want to be able to provide people with a platform where they can freely express their views on such topics as education, social issues, health and fitness. And that's good. Or sports. So please join me so we can complain and provide solutions together. Greetings, family and friends. My name is Derek Terry, host of I'm Not Complaining, I'm Just Saying, where if you're gonna complain, you better bring solutions or willing to hear something, all right? So with that, this show is primarily about educational issues, but from time to time, I may talk about some political issues, some social issues, sports, whatever may come up. Oh no! How about that? But before we get into the show, first let me express that the opinions or views expressed on this show are solely mine. They do not reflect the views of any of my future guests or sponsors or anyone tied to the production of this show. In addition, future guests or sponsors on this show, whatever views they express are solely theirs and not that of the show. So with that saying, let's get started. And welcome. Once again, I am Derek Terry, host of I'm Not Complaining, I'm Just Saying, where if you're gonna complain, you better bring solutions. So I feel great, I feel excited. This is week one, and as you know, for those who don't know, our topic is pimping teachers, the love and hate of teaching in public education. But before I get started, the show's normally 5-6 minutes, so it's not very long. I use it as a forum to complain, bring about solutions. Sometimes I just complain, but I primarily try to bring solutions to anything that I'm talking about. For those that don't know, I've been in the education arena for probably 18 plus years. Sometime last year I decided to leave public education, and by doing that, it actually opened up really more of an outlet for me to clearly voice my opinion without getting blackballed or blacklisted in the education arena. So I wanted to focus on educational issues that most teachers, staff, or whatever, even some parents, may not want to voice with the fear of retaliation. You know, my thing is very, very simple. You have a voice, you have the constitutional right to say what you want, and you should not be penalized for even speaking your opinion or speaking facts. So with that, let's get into the topic. Pimping teachers, the love and hate of teaching in public education. Teacher salaries. That goes without saying. Nationally, teachers are fighting for higher salaries. Where I live at, the salaries are somewhat reasonable, but the cost of living is extreme. So when we would look at teacher salaries, how do you really address teacher salaries without shortchanging teachers? It comes down to our tax dollars, it comes down to how we spend our money, and it comes down really to student population as well as a genuine respect for the profession. And what I mean by that is, as a teacher, you're required to get a bachelor's degree, you're required to get a master's degree, and sometimes the particular education departments don't even pay for that. So when they don't pay for that, you have to pay for that as a teacher out of your pocket. Those are things that really need to be changed. When I look at how to increase teacher salaries, parents, you are the biggest advocate for teachers. I don't mind higher taxes as long as I see the fruits of my labor. I don't mind paying teachers high salaries as long as the schools are doing what they're supposed to do. I think any parent would be that way. When we look, and I live in Maryland, so when I look at counties like Montgomery, even Prince George's now, Anne Arundel or Howard, they're paying their teachers money because their taxpayers demand it. They demand it, but they also demand results. So when we look at teacher salaries, we have to demand results of what our teachers give as far as what they receive. But as a parent, you need to make sure that you put your child in the best situation to learn so teachers don't have to deal with all that. Okay, so that's what I look at that. So let's now piggyback on free labor. And what I mean by free labor, As teachers, I guarantee you they give 10 to 20 hours of work for free. I know that for a fact, at least 10 to 20. I don't know any profession, especially if they're under a contract, that their employees are required, well, I wouldn't say required, but they work 10 to 20 hours for free. Police officers don't do it. Nurses don't do it. Government workers don't do it. Contractors don't do it. Unless you got your own business, you giving up some free labor. But when you have to go home and grade papers, make phone calls, whatever else stuff you have to do, prepare lesson plans, you're doing that most of the time after school hours. So guess who's pimping? Oh yeah, the school systems are definitely pimping the teachers because they know for a fact they're giving up this labor for free. And I didn't do a cost analysis or anything. Let's say we just use a round number. Let's say, for instance, a teacher's getting paid, well, let's say $25 an hour, just to word that off. So if you do 25 and we'll say an average of 8 hours, so that's about what, $200? So $200. So if we say $200 a day times 5, that's $1,000. Now, when you add the 10 extra hours in there, that gives you what? It's $250. So $250 for free that the school system will get out of that teacher. That's 1 day salary, or a little over 1 day salary. So they're getting at least 1 day salary out of those teachers a week for free. When you do that times weeks and months and years, that comes up to thousands of dollars that they're getting off one teacher. So yeah, if you want to say the school system is pimping the teacher, yep, do the math. As a teacher, take your hourly salary and do the math and see how much extra time you put in there and how much that they could be paying you. Which brings me to lack of respect. If the school system is not respecting the teachers, I'm not talking about respecting them by, oh, give you goodies and feel good money and all this and free donuts and gift certificates. That's not respect. Respect means when I walk down a hallway, if a student cusses me out, that student should get the same punishment as they would get if they cussed out a principal. That's not happening. I'm saying administrators, you can chime in and say what you want. We know it's not happening. It may happen on a very, very rare occasion, but it's not happening. Those are some things when we talk about the lack of respect. And then also when we look at parents, teachers, they do a hard job. When you look at it, they really professional daycare providers because from 7 to whatever, 3, whatever, that child is that teacher's responsibility. So if you do daycare costs, believe me, you're getting over by having the teacher come in there, not only take care of your kids, but educate your kids on obviously on some things that you can't do, which is fine. I couldn't teach my daughter chemistry and physics because I'm not a physics chemistry teacher. To lay the foundation, those are the things that you should be doing as a parent. So when teachers come in and they're not respected, whether it's by their students, by other teachers, by parents, or administrators, that plays a toll on how long they stay in. It brings us that love and hate of teaching in the public education system because who wants to continue to put up with that? And then my last point, teachers' unions, are they really unionizing or politicizing? A teachers' union or association is supposed to be there for the teachers. Everything that they do or say should center around the teacher. I don't care about a political candidate because what happens is, especially during an election, you have these so-called unions that say, the teachers voted or the teachers educated themselves on the candidates. No, they didn't. I'll give you a prime example. And I really hope one of the representatives wants to join this show in the next couple of weeks. So when you have a local teachers union that is primarily funded by the state teachers union, they're going to say, look, you're going to vote for this person or we're going to endorse this person. So in order to endorse this person, we're going to give you a pot of money that you will use. You really don't have a choice. You have to use that particular candidate. All the years I've been teaching, I've never had the union say, let's have a round table, let's meet at a certain location to where we can sit there and have a genuine conversation about a candidate. I hope you enjoyed week 1. We're about to wrap this up. But what I would encourage people to do, especially when we talk about teachers unions, whether or not they're unionizing or politicizing, educate yourself. And if the union isn't doing their job, what they're supposed to do, then you shouldn't be paying your dues or demand a refund. Okay? Lack of respect. Respect your teachers. Teachers, respect your students, respect the parents. When we all respect one another, you generally get respect back. And the free labor, school systems. You know you're pimping the teachers. You know it. Okay? So I'm the type that I taught to the contract. I got to the point I'm tired. I got a life. they got a life. Don't say, well, you chose this job. Then guess what? Find me another profession that says give me 10 to 20 hours of work for free. Find that profession. Let me know what it is. Because that can actually help out with your teacher's salaries. Teachers probably won't mind working 9 to 5 and leaving, but knowing that they got to go do extra work, I'm going to demand more money. So with that, please join me next week where the topic will be, so you are seeking a black male teacher. Yeah, okay. Yeah. And what I mean by that, a lot of school systems say that they're seeking black male teachers, but there's reasons why they're not coming and there's reasons why they're leaving. And we're going to talk, well, actually, I'm going to complain about it and then give you solutions as someone who actually is a black male who was a teacher who's not in there anymore, who one system so-called said they were seeking. So we'll explore that. So peace and blessings.
Blaze the path.